Well, if water is bending because of gravity, then why does a butterfly sit up there?
Today, on Playing a Blinder.
You know, people they're lost. I mean, they're lost. Do you get me? Do you understand?
Do you need to get that? We'll wait. It's fine. It might be your wife calling to tell you she's sick of you again.
Just stop this bullshit.
Tidy!
They're just... I mean, I call them masks. Other people call them sheeples.
It's funny, whenever I hear a flat earther or any other conspiracy theorist call people like us sheeple, how they fail to see the irony, because the definition of a sheep is a person who's foolish and easily led.
You know, I don't even know, maybe those are good words for them, but they don't understand anything. They don't understand physics. Simple physics.
Simple physics? You mean the branch of science concerned with the nature and properties of matter and energy, including mechanics, heat, light and other radiation, sound, electricity, magnetism and the structure of atoms? That physics?
Yeah, I mean, this is shit that you learn back in the day.
If by back in the day you mean when you were in school, then yeah. But some of us have made more sense of it than others, haven't we, CC?
When you're a child, you know, how ridiculous gravity is, how ridiculous a planet is, how ridiculous a solar system is, how ridiculous the universe is.
And let's not forget how ridiculous you are, CC, and every other person that thinks the Earth is flat.
It's a fairy tale. That's all it is. One big fairy tale. And people ask me, you know, why? Why does it matter? You know, I mean, how many times does a flat earther get that? That's just great. Why does it matter?
Well, I think that's a perfectly valid question. Why does it matter? Apart from the obvious, I mean, which is that nothing would work. If Earth somehow was flat, it wouldn't behave like the planet we know today. In fact, humanity and everything else would be dead. To shape a planet into a disk rather than a sphere, you'd have to spin it really fast, and this would unfortunately destroy the planet by tearing it into tiny particles. And it's funny, even though flat earthers call BS on the rotation of the Earth, if the Earth really was flat, it would have had to have been spun so much more quickly than the 15 degrees per hour, as proven by a flat earther.
A 15 degree per hour drift.
Thanks, Bob. To achieve the flat disc-like shape that flat earthers claim. Now, in the 1850s, astronomer James Clerk Maxwell showed mathematically that a solid disc-like shape isn't stable. It wouldn't work in space. Now, in work he conducted regarding Saturn's rings, Maxwell's research predicted that Saturn's rings would be made of a lot of small, unconnected particles. And guess what? It turns out he was right. His maths also explains why there are no planet-sized disks floating around the galaxy. Imagine that. No flat planets. Anywhere. Oh, that's right. We don't have to imagine it, do we?
Why does it matter that you don't even understand what the hell you live on? That you don't even understand why they have done this? You know, they panicked.
Oh, they. Again. Is anyone ever gonna say who they are?
You know, you realize that? They panicked when they figured out that the Earth was flat. And it only took us until, like, what, the 50s? You know, to actually have the top scientists figure out that the Earth is flat. And they panicked. They had to come up with something.
Top scientists? Who exactly? Which top scientists revealed that the Earth was flat? Was it Daniel Pratt? He's a top flat Earth scientist, isn't he?
You know, they're like, oh shit, wait a minute. This is wrong. For the last 500 years, we've been teaching people that the Earth is round and that we're in a solar system. I don't know how much they concentrated on the universe. I have no idea. I have an all of my own, CC. What solar system are you referring to? You've said many, many times in your own videos that space is fake. So, yeah, which solar system is that exactly? Anyway, more fantasies for you. So they panicked and they created a space agency. A joke. Which, by the way, has the worst CGI pictures I have ever seen. A 10-year-old could do better than that, especially now.
Do You know, you can always rely on CC to give me the opportunity to use my CGI clip. CGI. Okay, well if it's that easy to fake the appearance of a planet, why has nobody ever tried to do that to prove to us sheeple that the Earth is indeed flat? Actually, if it really was flat, you wouldn't need to rely on CGI, would you? You'd have your very own pictures of the flat Earth from space. But you don't, because it isn't. Well, I don't know what you're laughing at. I'm not the one sat in the back of a van trying to get people to believe that the Earth is flat.
It's funny. It amuses me that there are no craters. Well, not craters. What am I talking about? Rocket, blasts on the moon. Just this beautiful picture of a shuttle. Where did that go?
Wow, what a wonderfully articulate explanation, CC. And I agree. What are you talking about? We've gone from the Earth is flat to the moon. Okay, let's run with it then.
Isn't it supposed to be made out of fine dust? Remember what do you say? It seems like I'm stepping on the surface of the moon right now. It seems like it's a fine powder. And how deep was that powder, by the way? Apparently it must be pretty deep because currently the flag out there is sitting in the dirt or in a fine powder, held up.
Dust? No, not dust. Just like the Earth, the moon can be divided into the crust, the mantle and the core. But I can see why somebody like you, CC, an advocate of simple physics, would think so. The surface of the moon is actually coated with lunar regolith, a fine mix of dust and broken rock. But to say the moon's made of dust just shows that maybe simple physics isn't quite enough to help you demonstrate your really stupid theories. Actually, even the most advanced physics probably wouldn't help you flat earthers, would it?
Oh, and you know what? The funny thing is they finally, yes, they did. You knew it was going to happen sooner or later. They finally figured out how to CGI a picture of the Space Apollo 11 landing area.
Hang on a second. So, since the 60s, they've had the technology to CGI the entire planet Earth to fool us sheeple into thinking we're living on a globe. But it's only now in 2021 they finally figured out how to CGI the Apollo landing site onto the moon.
Isn't that perfect? Oh shit, there it is. It's drawing. It's there. Don't you see it? We landed there. We're there. We were there.
No, we've been there since July 20th, 1969, and you're wrong anyway, because there were images captured by the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter camera, that was a mouthful, LROC, between July the 11th and the 15th in 2009, showing high-resolution views of the Apollo landing site. And this picture shows the Apollo 11 landing site, so laugh it up, you bargain basement Richard Gere, while we all laugh at you.
Yeah, with a P1000 I can zoom in on a crater, and you're telling me they just figured out how to take a picture of the Apollo 11 picture of now?
No, not now. It was 2009. And maybe there are other pictures, but the one I just showed proves my point. And the point is, you're an idiot. And when a flat earther's gonna realise that the P1000 is just a camera, stop acting like it's the key to proving everybody wrong.
You think the planet is spinning at 1,000 miles per hour? I bet you didn't know that, right?
I did, actually. And spinning is a poor way of describing what the Earth is doing. It's a rotation, to be more accurate.
A 15 degree per hour drift.
Thanks again, Bob. The Earth rotates once. That's once every 24 hours. And when a flat earther's gonna stop calling it a spin, which I know I'm guilty of myself, but it is actually a rotation. One rotation. Every 24 hours. Not a spin.
You didn't know that. You probably just learned it right now, because I wasn't taught it when I was in school. They never told me the revolution of the planet is 1,000 miles per hour. Because if I knew when I was in 8th grade, I'd probably, by the time I entered 9th grade, know that something is wrong.
With you? Because given how angry you always seem to be in your videos, I would say that that's pretty self-evident now. Plus the fact that you claim to think the Earth is flat.
Okay? Because there's no way clouds could even exist. And if they did, it's impossible.
Why?
Right now someone's gonna say, oh, now he says clouds don't exist. No, you don't understand. The way they are traveling would be impossible.
Yeah, we get it. Impossible. But why?
If we're revolving at 1,000 miles per hour, how the fuck fast are those clouds moving?
clouds and the atmosphere generally move with the Earth's rotation due to friction with the Earth's surface. The atmosphere and the clouds in it are carried along with the Earth's rotation, and clouds sometimes seem to be moving faster than we are because the wind is carrying the parcel of cloudy air along. Wind occurs at all levels of the atmosphere from the ground up. Sometimes there can be no wind at ground level, but very high clouds can be seen moving because the wind up there is faster than it is down here.
Holy shit! They must be going at least, what? 1,100 and usually a storm is 60 miles. 1,160 miles per hour.
I don't know, maybe. Who cares? They're clouds. And they neither prove nor disprove the shape of the Earth, so shut up and move on, Jay Leno.
That really makes sense. This delicate little cloud, this puff of smoke is traveling at all this speed. Isn't that so stupid? We just had, I don't know if you can see that snow embankment in the back. Sorry, the lighting sucks. I can't do much about that.
Trust me, Cece, and I'm not just trying to be mean, but it isn't just the lighting that sucks in your videos.
But that was a storm that lasted here in New York, and we're actually getting another one, extra bonus, 6 inches more. So you think this is enough? Oh no, we got some more for you.
So, are you talking about the weather because you have nothing else of value to say, or does this have something to do with the shape of the Earth?
What was I saying? Okay, so this big hurricane is above, and this is for you, Jerry. This big hurricane is above, a landmass, okay, which should be revolving at 1,000 miles per hour. And you've got this huge hurricane-like system, which they like to refer to as a nor'easter here in New York and the East Coast, and it hasn't moved. It's just revolving back and forth for 3 days, bringing snow. Where does the Coriolis effect take place there?
Well, the fact that there's a hurricane at all shows Coriolis, and it's due to the rotation of Earth. Now, the Coriolis force assists in setting the circulation of a hurricane into motion by producing a rightward or clockwise deflection that sets up a cyclonic or counterclockwise circulation around the hurricane's low pressure. So yeah, not the best argument for flat Earth, really, is it?
See, now, if I knew this in 8th grade, if I knew this in 7th grade, if I knew this in 5th grade, I would have said to the teacher, wait a minute, this makes no sense at all. And the only thing that can come back as a rebuttal to you is this fancy little word saying Coriolis effect when we've been already told it doesn't exist. Not a single sharpshooter takes it in at all. They don't know that when they're shooting missiles off of these tankers, and no, there's nothing there at all. Don't you see? Don't you see there's something a matter with that?
A matter with what? The fact that you and every other flat earther has absolutely no idea what they're talking about? Yeah, I can see that.
Bad chess players, I like to tell people. That's what you must be, a bad chess player.
Yeah, I am actually. I'd even go as far as saying I'm a terrible chess player. What is a prawn anyway? And which way can it move?
You're playing video games over there, sitting on your couch, snacking on things because you're too afraid to go out. Because of something that could quite possibly be lethal to you.
Well, that's the first sensible thing you've said so far. And I don't think I'm afraid to go out as such. I'd rather just not take any chances with my health. We are talking about the lager lurgy, aren't we?
So you're at home, ordering takeout, collecting money from the government, which they keep giving you, they keep giving it to you. Yeah, that's right. Let's give them another $300. Stay home for another year.
Stay home for a year? What, on $300? The cost of living must be really low in New York if $300 can sustain you for a year.
Why not? Let's do another year, shall we? Let's go 670 days. Great. Nobody still questions a thing.
Oh, poor baby. Do you work for one of the industries not affected by the lockdown and you had to work while everyone else got to stay at home? Don't be a dick, Cece. People have lost their jobs, their businesses, and even their homes because of something you seem to be jealous about, you piece of human garbage.
Because you've learned so much, and they throw you these ridiculous questions of gravity, of water bending,
Well, gravity isn't really a question, it's more of a fact, really. But go on, I can't wait to see where he's going with this.
Really? That's great. Well, if water is bending because of gravity, then why does a butterfly sit up there?
Really? I've got to answer this? Again? Okay, to fly through the air, a butterfly usually flaps its wings, doesn't it? This creates lift and thrust. By flapping its wings, a butterfly creates enough lift to overcome drag and gravity, and is able to push itself forwards and up. So why does gravity keep the oceans where they are? Is it maybe because the oceans aren't trying to overcome gravity? The sea doesn't have wings to flap, you moron.
Shouldn't the planet, if we lived on one, be able to cleanse itself? We shouldn't have a greenhouse effect. The only way that's possible is if you're in a container.
What? Hang on, so as well as being flat, the Earth isn't a planet either? What is it then? Now, as far as the greenhouse effect goes, well, that's our fault. And it's too big of a topic to tackle in this video. And we are in a container. Kind of. It's called the atmosphere, you absolute spanner. It's hard to believe he beat 100,000 other sperm, isn't it? I wonder if his head whistles in a crosswind. He's so stupid, I bet blondes tell jokes about him.
Maybe they'll look into it. Maybe they'll do their research. Maybe they will understand that the reason why you've been lied to is because of control. And that there has to be control over people. And if 6 billion or 7 billion or however the hell they may say there are of us figure out that the Earth is flat, they're going to immediately run, guess what, to Antarctica.
I'm not. I hate the cold. Dare I ask why Antarctica?
Because that's where it is. That's why compasses don't work.
It? What is it, though? Is it the same as they or them, but rather than being a person, it's stuff? See? Stuff. I can use simple physics terms as well, CC.
Okay? It's always going to point true north, never south. See, that's the thing. I mean, don't you understand all of this stuff? And then when you go true north and you go to the outer edges of what we live on, that compass no longer works. There is nothing. It doesn't work.
Hang on. North isn't actually north. It's outwards. To the edge. It would have to be on a flat Earth, wouldn't it? So if the Earth was flat, then north would be in all directions, 360 degrees around you, wherever you were stood on a flat Earth. Not just the one direction that we have to rely on in reality.
You know, that's it. We walk around in circles because you live in a circle. You live in a globe. That's what you live in. That's it.
In a what?
You live in a globe.
Yeah, I thought that's what you said. Well, you heard it here first. We live in a globe. I'm not sure I'd say in. I'd say on, but I'm not going to split hairs because CC just said we live on a globe.
That's all, folks.
Alright, watch this next. But before you do, make sure you subscribe. By order of the Creaky Blinder.